Have you ever felt like you're better than the person playing over you, but yet they're getting all the minutes and all the opportunities? Maybe you're more skilled than them, maybe you put in more work than they do, but yet you're still stuck watching. It's frustrating, it's confusing, and it can definitely start to mess with your confidence as well. Now, this video is not about blaming your coach, and if you're looking for that, this probably isn't going to help you. This video is about understanding why this happens, and more importantly, how you can fix it. So I'm going to break down 4 reasons why this could be happening, and then I'm going to tell you exactly how you can fix it so that you can start to see those results on the court that you work so hard for. The first reason is because of trust and reliability. Coaches aren't always going to play the most talented players. They're going to play the players that they trust the most. Now, trust can come from a few different areas. Number one is, do they trust you to actually go out and do your job? So you might be super skilled, but if your coach wants you to go out and move the ball in offense and take open shots and defend at a high level, but you are too busy focusing on other things that you want to do that aren't in line with that, well, your coach isn't going to trust you because you're not contributing to winning. You might have all the ability in the world, but if you're careless with the ball and you try and do too much and be a hero too often, and so you turn the ball over making bad decisions, then you might have all the ability in the world, but you're not helping the team enough. So therefore, your coach won't trust you. If your coach can look at you and they can know exactly what they're going to get from you when they put you in the game, they're much more likely to play you because you're reliable. We'll talk a little bit later on how to develop trust with your coach. The second reason that this could be happening is because of a lack of effort or energy. I see it all the time as a coach. There are players who are incredibly talented, but they don't understand what the game of basketball actually is. They think that the most important thing in basketball is how skilled you are, and it's just not even close. Basketball at a high level and even at lower levels is a war every single game. And if you play the game of basketball, you know what I mean. You're going to get bumped, you're going to get fouled. Sometimes the game comes down to who can pull a rebound at the end, who can box out at the end, who can get to a loose ball first. And as a player, you might not always recognize it, but this ability to just play super hard all the time is one of the most important factors when it comes to winning. So if your coach has to tell you to play harder or to go harder after ball or to sprint harder, and you're also not seeing the minutes that you probably think you should be seeing, then you got to look at that, and that's probably an area where you need to shore up. So sprinting the floor, diving for loose balls, showing visible energy on the court and on the bench, all of that stuff matters, and if you don't do those things, you're not going to play. The third area that can go into this is not fitting a team's need. So sometimes it's not about who's the better player or the more skilled player. Sometimes it's about which player fills a certain need better. So for example, if your team needs a perimeter defender to guard a certain guy, well, your teammate might be better at that than you are. Even though you're a better shooter, you're a better ball handler, you might be better in a bunch of other areas. But if your coach needs them for a specific purpose, they're going to play over you. It's essentially about filling gaps. So if you're skilled, but your skill that you have, what you bring to the table doesn't fill a gap that's needed, then you're probably not going to play. And your coach is going to go with the guy who has a skill that does fill that gap. And the fourth reason why you might not be playing as much as you think that you should be is because of your attitude and your coachability. This kind of goes back to whether or not your coach can trust you. If you can't take coaching, you can't take feedback, every time your coach says something to you, you get defensive or you have a massive ego about how capable you are, they're not going to trust you because they're not going to be able to say to you, hey, fix this, and know that you're actually going to try and do that. They're going to think, well, if I tell him to do that, then he's just going to tell me that I'm wrong and he's right and why his teammate did that and you didn't say anything about that. And they're going to come up with all these excuses when none of that stuff is going to lead to winning. You have to be able to take feedback without feeling like it's personal because it pretty much never is. Everybody's there to win a game, so if you can't take feedback without it hurting your ego, it's going to be tough to trust you. Going along with attitude, what is your body language like? What is your attitude like when you're not playing? When you're on the bench, are you locked in? Are you celebrating for your teammates? Are you as excited or even more excited when your teammate makes a shot compared to when you make a shot, or are you only care when you're the one who's making the play? If you're coachable, you're engaged, and you're easy to work with, you immediately become way more playable for any coach. So let's talk about exactly how you can fix this. Number one is you want to ask for feedback. So go to your coach and ask them, hey, coach, what is it that I can do to earn more minutes? And you need to approach it in a very respectful way. So don't come at it in a way that is on the attack. Like, coach, why am I not playing more? I'm way better than that player. I'm better than that player. That guy's bad at that. Don't do that. That's the worst way you can go about doing this. A very easy way of doing this would be to say, coach, what can I do to help the team more? That question shows that you're approaching this from a mature perspective, but you're also approaching it from the same perspective that a coach is thinking, which is, how do I help the team? How do I help us win more? What can I do to help us come closer to our goal of winning? And when you say that, your coach is much more likely to give you some tangible feedback you can use, and they're going to respect your effort and the way that you're approaching this way more, which again is going to go back to them liking you more, trusting you more, and giving you a better chance of playing. One quick thing I'll say about this, though, is don't be the player who always is doing this and never thinks about applying it, right? When you go ask your coach this, actually implement it. Because if you do this as a way to show your coach that you're asking and you don't actually do it with the intention of fixing anything, then everyone's going to see right through it and you're going to lose trust because of it. So when you get that feedback, actually work to apply it and make those changes. The second thing you need to do if you want to get more minutes is you need to focus on the intangibles. These are just things that aren't obvious, that you don't get on YouTube or TikTok and see people making a million videos on it, like shooting, ball handling, passing, whatever. We need to think about the stuff that is the game within the game. So examples would be communicating at a higher level, boxing out and finishing possessions on defense. And then offensively, it's the IQ of the game. So knowing when to shoot, when to drive, when to pass, knowing how to create advantages for your team. I'll talk about this again at the end, but if you want to understand how to do these intangible things better, I have a free Basketball IQ Masterclass. It's a top link down below in the description. We dive into a bunch of this stuff. It's going to help you to become a better scorer, better able to create for yourself and for your team. It's going to help you to play with more confidence and then develop some of the mindsets that are going to go into helping you with this stuff here. So it's completely free. Make sure you check that out. It's top link in the description down below. All of these intangible things are stuff that's so overlooked. Like I said, you don't get on YouTube or TikTok and see people emphasizing these the way you do all the other skills. And people obviously spend all their time on those things. But if you lack the intangibles, you're going to struggle to actually perform to the level you're capable of on the court, and you're going to struggle to play with any sort of consistency. Like I said, that masterclass down below is going to help you, but this area is massive when it comes to all this. The third thing you need to do if you want to change this and fix this problem is you need to play to your strengths. So stop trying to do everything. Like I mentioned earlier, understand what is being asked of you by your coach. What do they want you to do in your offense? At your position, what should you be doing? If you don't know that, then ask. Do your job and do it to the best of your ability. Now, a lot of players get this confused with me saying that, oh, you shouldn't try and increase your role or get better. I'm not saying that. If you want to increase your role, get more opportunities, you need to excel in your current role first. And when you do that at a really high level, that's when those opportunities are going to expand for you. You're going to be able to do more, but you can't skip the middle step. Everybody wants to go out and be a superstar. They want to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They want to be Jason Tatum. They want to be LeBron James. But if you look at those guys, someone like Shai is a great example. What Shai does are the simple things, the basic stuff, but he does them at an exceptional level. He's so good and consistent in doing those things, and that's what makes him a superstar. So make that your approach as well. The things that you're asked to do, the simple things that aren't flashy, become exceptional at doing those things. You're going to not only excel and build trust with your coach, but it's going to expand more opportunities for you as well. The fourth thing you need to do in order to fix this is you need to become a great teammate. You need to be somebody that your coach wants to play. Be somebody that your coach says, I'm glad that that kid is succeeding because they do everything right. Be that player, right? You don't want to give yourself additional hurdles to jump over, okay? So be somebody that, not only that, be somebody that your teammates want to succeed, because trust me, if you're not a good teammate, your teammates are not going to vouch for you, and they're not going to want you to succeed, and it's going to make it that much harder for you to be able to. Be the guy that people want on the floor. Be the guy that you would want to be on the floor with. This means that you need to celebrate your teammates. Even if you're not playing well, you're not playing at all, celebrate their successes just like you would celebrate your own. Energy is so contagious, whether it's good energy or bad energy, and the quickest way to become an outcast from your own team is to walk around and have bad energy. Nobody wants to be a part of that, and it's the worst thing you can do if your goal is to actually get more opportunities. And the last thing you need to do in order to fix this is you need to outwork everybody. Whether it's in the weight room, whether it's on the court, whether it goes into watching film or improving your basketball IQ. At the end of the day, if you continually give high-level, undeniable effort, despite things that go right, go wrong, when you don't see progress, when you see major progress, when the thing that stays constant for you is your effort and the work that you put in, eventually it's going to work out for you. It is undeniable. And most people fail because they quit too early. So if you make it your goal, your mission, you say, no matter what happens, good or bad, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep putting in the same level of effort, and it doesn't matter what's happening. You're going to succeed long term. You're going to put yourself in a position to where an opportunity is going to present itself for you, and you're going to be ready for it because you simply kept that mindset of working constantly. Now, you might feel overlooked, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not good enough. What it does mean, though, is that it's time for you to focus on the things that are actually going to get you on the court and actually get you the opportunities that you want. Now, if you want to become the type of player that coaches feel like they have to play, like I mentioned earlier, I put together that free Basketball IQ Masterclass, the top link down below. It's an hour long, and it's going to completely transform the way that you see the game and the way that you approach things when you're on the court. Highly recommend you check that out. I've mentioned that word undeniable, and this is going to help you become that undeniable player. Hopefully, this gave you some ideas on how to take that next step forward as a player. Appreciate you for watching. Talk soon. Peace.